U.S. military strikes on Yemen.
Basically have a band of pirates.
By orders of President Donald Trump. Veterans band together at the National Mall.
I literally just had an appointment canceled 2 days ago.
In protest against President Trump, coverage from Caplin's D.C. bureau. A tribute held at FIU.
Here we have a memorial that we hope to honor the life and the legacy.
6 years after the devastating bridge collapse. And taking to the streets.
And it's super fun. I'm glad to be here. I love it.
For a local St. Patrick's Day celebration. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Top of the morning to you. Hello, South Florida. I'm Jason Aaron.
I'm Nicolette Esper. Good morning. Today is St. Patrick's Day, Monday, March 17th, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
On the president's order, a strike inside Yemen. President Trump ordered military strikes in Yemen, which have reportedly killed a number of Houthi leaders.
The U.S. has been working for months to weaken the capabilities of the Houthi group, which is backed by Iran. This effort comes as the Houthis have been attacking international shipping routes in the Red Sea.
The Houthis have struck or attacked 174 naval vessels of the United States. So we basically have a band of pirates, with guided precision anti-ship weaponry. We're not going to have people sitting around with the missiles attacking the U.S. Navy. It's not going to happen, not under President Trump.
In a social media post, Trump warned Houthi terrorists what would happen if their attacks don't stop. And the U.S. strikes killed at least 31 people and injured 101 others, mostly women and children, according to Houthi health officials.
Hundreds of migrants deported who are affiliated with a prominent Venezuelan gang. The announcement came yesterday from the Trump administration. A federal judge had temporarily blocked the action, ordering migrant flights to return to the U.S. El Salvador's president said the country took control of the migrants, with the U.S. providing $6 million to detain them for at least a year.
At least 39 people are dead this morning, and hundreds of thousands are without power following powerful storms. The violent tornadoes and severe weather were over the weekend near Montgomery, Alabama, and there's a long road ahead. The cleanup is just beginning as communities and families try to pick up the fallen pieces.
And she called me back, and all she could say was, "Mama, her house is gone, it's leveled."
Alabama is not alone. There is damage across parts of several states.
Veterans in Washington, D.C. and across the country rallied against proposed cuts put forward by the Trump administration, which could impact the future of the services they rely on. D.C. Bureau reporter Rafael Hernandez has more.
Here at the National Mall, veterans protest proposed cuts and large-scale layoffs to the Department of Veterans Affairs, while also voicing their opposition to other policies they say undermine their rights and services.
It's very scary to me that the people that defend this country aren't going to have those services afforded to them. It's just wrong. It's disgusting.
Kevin Moat is one of thousands of veterans attending rallies in response to the 83,000 job cuts Trump and DOJ aim to make to the VA in the coming months, slashing the agency down from nearly 480,000 employees to a little under 400,000. The proposition puts veterans on edge, as many of them rely on the services provided by the VA.
I literally just had an appointment canceled 2 days ago because they didn't have anybody to see me. So it's already directly affecting me.
80,000 seems unfathomable to me. Not only myself depends on this care, but just knowing all my friends, all the veterans around the country that depend on the VA care system. So that seriously gives me a little bit of anxiety to think about.
The VA is one of the largest providers of mental health in the country, and veterans fear the incoming layoffs will jeopardize that care.
If our veterans are suffering from PTSD, help them.
Obviously, I don't have the support here that I was promised. I don't know what else from there.
Reporting from the National Mall, I'm Rafael Hernandez.
Remembering a tragedy this past Friday, the FIU community honored the lives lost in the devastating pedestrian bridge collapse and reflected on its lasting impact. Caplin News reporter Paola Sirignano brings us the story.
March 15 marks 7 years since the FIU pedestrian bridge collapsed, a tragedy that shocked the community. And today, students, faculty, and families gather at the memorial of the 6 victims to honor them. Amongst them, Alexa Duran, an FIU student whose legacy lives on.
7 years later, the impact of the FIU bridge collapse is still deeply felt. What was meant to be a symbol of innovation became a tragic reminder of structural failure. Today's memorial serves as both a tribute to the victims and a reflection of the lessons learned, as the university and families gather to honor their memory.
And so here we have a memorial that we hope to honor the life and the legacy of a daughter, of a student, of a sister, someone that was just starting out. And FIU provides so much opportunity for our students overall. And I know the family is very grateful for us being willing to do something like this and honoring their daughter's legacy. And so I'm very privileged to be able to stand alongside the family today.
At 1:47 p.m., a moment of silence occurred, and a bell rang 6 times, once for each victim. Interim President Jeanette Nunez led the ceremony alongside Alexa's parents, Gina and Orlando, honoring the lives lost and reflecting on the impact of the tragedy, as well as the safety measures now in place to prevent such an event in the future.
We will always remember her. The lesson for this, and this is, I am in contact with the Department of Transportation, is that the mistake of allowing traffic during construction cannot happen anymore. So they said they will be very careful at planning all of that. Everything will be at night with street closed.
The Alexa M. Duran Memorial, unveiled in 2022, stands as a tribute of her life, featuring 18 doves representing her 18 years and 5 pillars symbolizing the other victims. Students and faculty continue to honor those lost through annual gatherings and safety initiatives, ensuring that their legacy is never forgotten.
As FIU honors the 6 lives lost, this tragedy remains a reminder of resilience and change. And right here, at the Alexa M. Duran Memorial, their legacy lives on. Reporter for Caplin News, I'm Paula Siriñana.
Those lives will never be forgotten. Now, for the current climate of federal funding cutbacks and program cancellations at museums and other artistic venues have been prominent. There's a gallery in Washington that is showcasing the artwork of trailblazer in the fight for equality. DC Bureau Natalie Dominguez has more.
Elizabeth Catlett used her art to speak out against discrimination right at the height of segregation and the Cold War, highlighting in particular the struggles of Black women and Latinas. Catlett was born in D.C. but spent many years in Mexico. When she died in 2012, her legacy continued to resonate across borders.
The exhibition at the National Gallery of Art shows how she merged politics and art, making powerful statements about race, gender, and equality.
One of the things that we really sought to show was the breadth of Catlett's career. So she had a 75-year career, and we have really early works done as a student all the way through her last sculpture.
Catlett's art was both about storytelling and form, capturing historic moments and offering an intimate look into the lives of Black women. As she once said, revolution doesn't always need to be the subject, it can be about representation, such as in her Motherhood series where she reimagined the image of Black women.
So you can see, for instance, in our Motherhood and Family section, a series of mother and child portraits where she's looking back to the history of art and thinking about representation, particularly of Black women, and showing an alternate to a lot of depictions at the time of Black women.
Her time in Mexico played a crucial role in shaping her style, where she created prints and sculptures that echoed the struggles of individuals fighting for equality. Her work is considered so controversial that the U.S. government declared her an undesirable alien, and she spent the rest of her life in Mexico. However, her citizenship was eventually given back, and she became a dual citizen.
The exhibition is open now through July 6th at the National Gallery of Art's East Building. Reporting from Washington, D.C., I'm Natalie Dominguez for Caplin News.
The color and creativity took over Doral as families and art lovers came together for a hands-on painting experience like no other. The question is, what makes jelly printing so unique? And Caplin News reporter Stephanie Tenya has the answer.
Art can be a form of self-expression, therapy, and even community building. In Doral, a jelly paint workshop where attendees are learning the intricate techniques of jelly painting. Let's dive into this creativity experience and see how this workshop is inspiring artists of all levels. Jelly printing is a fun and easy way to create beautiful artwork using a gelatin-like plate. Unlike traditional painting, this method allows artists to layer texture, blend colors, and experiment with different materials to create stunning effects.
We encourage creative play because we say grown-ups don't get enough time to play. There's plenty of programs for children, art like after school, to learn art. But as you grow up, as you know, you don't have time to play. You have work and you have school and you have this and that. And so part part of our mission is to just remind grown-ups to play a little bit, get your hands dirty.
This event is all about creativity and self-expression, welcoming both beginners and experienced artists to explore new techniques.
So this was all of my practice, so I wanted to join and learn how gel printing was made. I enjoyed the practice since it is very easy to make and clean.
For many, this technique is a new and exciting way to get creative.
This is a very new technique, at least for me, and I've only recently heard about it, and you can be very creative with it, and people have really enjoyed it because it's like a game.
From playful patterns to one-of-a-kind masterpiece, Jelly Prints brings joy to the artists of all age. Whether you're here for fun or to discover a new hobby, this event proves that art has no limits. From first-time participants to experienced artists, the Jelly Paint workshop has proven that creativity has no limit. Through Jelly Print, attendants explored new techniques, embraced mistakes, and discovered the joy of artistic expression. For Caplin News, I'm Stephanie Denia.
Pope Francis is seen again after his hospitalization on February 14th.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
And I love when they all come together and do a community event.
And a St. Patrick's Day tradition that brings the Irish luck to the 305. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
A party in Coral Gables which aims to paint the town green. Today is St. Patrick's Day, but the celebrations begin over the weekend as the long-running Miami tradition brings the Irish culture to the 305.
Yes, John Martin's St. Patrick's Street Festival returned for the 32nd time, and Caplin's Laura Iglesia was lucky enough to be there.
We're here at the 32nd annual John Martin St. Patrick's Street Festival, a long-running Miami tradition that brings Irish culture, music, and plenty of festivities to the streets of Coral Gables. This beloved event has been a highlight, bringing lots of green to Florida. John Martin's, a beloved Irish pub in Coral Gables, has been hosting this festival for decades, keeping the St. Patrick's Day spirit alive in South Florida. From meals to live bands playing Celtic tunes, this event has something for everyone.
I live in Coral Gables, and I love when they all come together and do a community event, and St. Patrick's Day is the perfect way to come together and just have fun and all come together and have a good time and dance and listen to music, and it's super fun. I'm glad to be here. I love it.
With thousands of attendees filling the streets, safety was a major focus. Coral Gables police had a strong presence throughout this event, ensuring a smooth and secure experience for everyone.
I actually really admire this event. I think it brings everyone together, and it's a really wholesome event, and I think it should keep doing it in the future.
Beyond the music and the dancing, festival attendees also enjoyed family-friendly activities, games, and Irish-themed merchandise. As the sun set, the celebration continued with live performances keeping the crowd entertained.
It's a great experience, beautiful, and we enjoy it.
Reporting from Coral Gables and wishing you a happy St. Patrick's Day, I'm Laura Iglesias.
A photo of Pope Francis has emerged, making it the first world public appearance since his hospitalization. It was shown by the Vatican yesterday, and in this picture, Francis is seen at the hospital chapel in Rome and took part in a mass service. For weeks, the Pope has been dealing with a respiratory illness, and according to the Vatican on Sunday, the Pope did work, but there were no visitors.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Nicolette Esper.
Thanks for joining us. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fu.edu, and I'm Jason Arrow.